then some of the provisions in the amendments, etc., really raise questions about it. And you have to answer, because I don't want to hog all the time. There is also a question of technology upgradation. Of course, it's self-evident that if we import such plants, it will enable us, through the import itself, to upgrade our technology. It's axiomatic. But what about, you say you paid, you kindly acknowledged the late Homi Bhabha's tripartite, a three-step. But I begin to suspect that that is languishing. And we keep on asking what is the status of the thorium project. And there's no satisfaction. We have also dealt with this subject, Mr. Minister. It's not fault finding that we have now we've been out of circulation for 6 years. I'm not current with the latest developments. If I ask you these, it's not to assign blame, it's to share a sense of concern. How can you abandon the thorium? That ultimately is the answer for India's central land. If it is that in the interim you wish to do it, I don't know how much 40 plants will cost us. Would that additionality have helped? I recognize the difficulty of the indigenous versus the imported. I have had to deal with the difficulties, for example, I don't want to go into details, of the DRDO. I accept the difficulties even of the Atomic Energy Commission. We say more than we can achieve, which is perhaps not such a bad thing. It's an aspiration. The government needs to encourage this. So I now come to the overhang of uncertainty in the international relations, and particularly on the question of NPT and the CT. The NPT review is one aspect of it. What would happen if we disagreed, as is entirely likely? We cannot be signatories to the NPT. We cannot, as things stand, subscribe to the CTBT. As things are progressing, I do foresee the United States of America, the Democratic government, will insist upon these, because that's their international program. What happens with the civil nuclear liability? So I have a different approach to compensation. I shared this with you also, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Leader of the House. I do not think that you can ever compensate for a real nuclear holocaust. The concept of compensation is to provide in lieu of a loss. What? Land. If you lose land, you pay some money. How do you compensate? Well, let me cite to you an example of our immediate Western neighbor. How do you compensate the kind of tragedy that has today struck Pakistan? 1/5 of the land, 1/5 of the country is underwater. Millions have been uprooted. Villages have gone, obliterated under a Sailab which is unimaginable. You know how many were killed in Hiroshima? One strike was over 175,000. Nuclear accidents, heavens forbid, do not fall in the category of ordinary compensation sufficing. That is why I had shared with my colleague when we first discussed this issue. I have difficulties with compensation. I don't have an immediate answer. It's perhaps you would say, and the justification, that what I'm saying is more a philosophical point than a practical point. But I think governments quite often must and do have to address even philosophical questions, and particularly and certainly when we are talking of an issue like nuclear plants, which can really devastate. Therefore, it is no good to say we are raised from 5. Personally, no. My colleagues perhaps find it adequate. That 500 have been raised to 1,500 crores. I also have some difficulty in some of the amendments that you've moved. We shall come to it in a moment. But very briefly, I must, Mr. Vice Chairman, there are one or two technical points I want to raise. So you said that there will be, each of the plants are nearly 1,650 megawatt plants. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think 1,650 megawatt plants are being used anywhere in the world today. Whether they are French or they are US, these 1,650 megawatt plants will be used in India for the first time. Is this, are you convinced that these 1,650 megawatt plants have been fully tried and taken care of? I wish to move, sir, towards the amendments and to my conclusion. You must resolve the issue of intent. I don't want to read the amendments because that will take the time of the House. But the central question remains, intent is really, how can you prove intent? And therefore I believe that you have addressed this meaningfully. I do also wish to refer to you, sir, to this page 2, serial 7. You have made a provision there for SDR, special drawing rights. I don't understand this, because if none of the operators are going to be foreign, unless you have a commitment which is behind a cloak, and this commitment is to the United States of America, whose domestic legislation requires this to be included, then please be candid. Tell us why, therefore, this SDR. There is another one here on page 2 itself, which is serial 9. Page 6, after line 8, insert, this is an amendment you moved, provided that the central government may, by notification, assume full liability for a nuclear installation not operated by it, if it is of the opinion that it is necessary in public interest. You are not operating all nuclear plants in the country today are operated by government, right? PSUs. Yeah, but the PSU are government owned. In which sense it's a government body, one step removed. I don't understand. If it is not operated by the government, by notification you wish to achieve it, it's a bit confusing and it makes us wonder why you are doing it. I have moved my amendments. I don't wish to read them because I wish to add. You will have to readdress yourself to the question of the Nuclear Power Act of 1962. And unless that is done, a number of the untidy aspects of this effort that is being made will not happen. You will also have to work towards amending the Insurance Act, because in the present situation, questions have arisen about inspecting the hot zone, which is the core of a nuclear plant. Now you can't. Yes, you want to say something? The hot zone we will have to address these questions, and you will therefore have to amend the Insurance Act. I personally feel that though in the Standing Committee examination, the Secretary Environment said that the aspects of environment were fully taken care of, I personally feel that a bit of a bureaucratic answer. I don't think he addressed himself fully to the question. The aspects of environmental damage are enormous. And I don't think we have the experience of even the understanding of what goes into it. I don't know. You cited Chernobyl and 3 Mile. Have the present Environment Ministry or any earlier, we didn't. Have they studied the consequences? Gone to Chernobyl, to Ukraine, or if they prefer to United States of America, and studied what happened there. What were the consequences to the environment? So I wish to say about water. We are a water-stressed country, very greatly water-stressed. We have the largest population of cattle in the world. We have the second largest population of cattle and sheep, after Australia. We have the second largest population of human beings. We have the largest population of camels. They are, no, please don't laugh at camels. They are all very much aspects of our country's responsibility. And when I talk of water, the water is in need for them also. I would have been remiss in my intervention if I hadn't said them. I must conclude there. Please accept the amendments that we have moved. If you accept the amendments, we will support the bill. I, in turn, accept that India is not an island. We have to live, but we have to live with our head held high. And we have to live in the forefront of community of nations, not as followers. I will walk together with you, in step with you, but please give to us and to the country and the Parliament what is our due. Give us izzat, give us the needed information, give us candor, and give us truth. Thank you very much.